Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Joyo R-07 Aquarius Delay. Let's check it out. Not too long ago, you'll probably recall, or if you don't, it's linked somewhere here, that I took a look at the Joyo Atmosphere Reverb. And this Aquarius Delay is in the same line, from the Revolution line. Same features, all the usual physical features of the Revolution line. Amazing design, amazing case, amazing look, amazing LED lights on the bottom, the whole 9 yards. And Joyo has really stepped up their game. I mean, if these are still classed as budget pedals, just based on the price alone, you're getting an amazing deal because these are top quality pedals. The sound is clean, the functionality is brilliant, the circuits are great. Pretty much, there really isn't anything I don't like about them. There is one thing, but we'll talk about that later. So let's talk about the delay for a second. The delay pedal has 8 delay functions, which is a lot. It's not uncommon for digital delay pedals nowadays to give you some options, especially if you want sort of a retro analog or tube delay alongside some other features. This one has the usual. It's got a digital delay, an analog, tape echo, tube echo, and a reverse delay, which is a literal reverse. It actually samples and reverses your echo, which is very cool. In addition, they've added a galaxy delay. It's what they're calling a galaxy delay, which is a slight modulation. It's similar to the Comet on the Atmosphere. We may try them together at some point. I do want to put them both in a chain when I show you how to put this rig together. As well, they have a mod delay, which I think it feels like it's got a bit of a chorus to it. And you can, I mean, it's the usual knob, right? You just switch between which one you want, and you set it up and you play. A couple of other features, it has a tap tempo, which is super nice. A lot of less expensive delays don't include the tap tempo, but it's controllable by the control knob as well. It has what they call level, which is sort of your mix. That's how loud the echoes are. Feedback, that's how long the delay is. But it does one more thing that a lot of delay pedals don't, and that is they include a looper. So they're using the same circuit they use for echo to create a loop so that you can record and practice and overlay, do all the things that you do with a looper. What's unique about this looper, and I'm not going to test it today because I am a terrible looper, so that's something I'm going to be working on for an upcoming episode, but what's unique about it is you can use the delay in tandem with the looper. So you can create a layered effect using different delays for each layer of your loop, which is phenomenal. It's amazing because you can leave the tempo where it is, change delays, and create different effects and do all kinds of amazing spatial things with it. So we're going to tear into this a little bit, and we're going to play it and see what it sounds like. For today's demo, I am using, once again, the Barnfire Burst Strat style with the Fishman Fluence pickups just for clarity, and you can see the reflection of my lights and my monitor. There's the pedal. Okay, this is a desktop pedal. It's over here on my left, so if I'm reaching over here, that's what I'm reaching for, is the pedal. As well, everything is going into Reaper, but once again, just like with the Atmosphere, I'm going into the effects loop on the R15 preamp house using the Fender 65 reverb as my clean, and the EVH. Am I using the EVH? No. I'm using the angle setting for my drive channel. We're going to be doing mostly cleans so you can really get a sense of how spatial this pedal is. I think you're really going to like it. Let's check it out. Okay, cool. So we're back. I've got everything rigged up now. The pedal is over here on the side in my SLR. And you're looking at me directly from the front and from up there, so everything should be good to go. This is my clean tone. This is the Fender 65 reverb with no reverb on it, of course, because it's just a preamp. Sounds pretty nice. That's on the bridge pickup. Here we are on the neck. Cool. All right, so I'm going to stick around the bridge just for a bit. And I'm going to flip this on. When I mentioned before, one of the things that I might tweak a little bit is the delay does flash. So you do get the full-on flashing tempo on the delay. Okay. Now I've got the feedback and mix at 12 o'clock. Time is roughly at 12 o'clock. I'm actually going to go a little bit, it's faster this way, right? You can tell by the flashing light how fast it is. So if I flip this around, we're going to go about there. And I'm starting on the digital delay. Okay, so this is just what it sounds like as a delay. Listen. Sounds like a delay, right? So when you turn this up all the way to tape, it's more or less infinite. Super exciting, right? So depending on how long you want your tails, if we go here all the way to the other side, it's just going to repeat once. That's it. Okay, one repeat. So a lot of times we like to keep it just a little past 12 o'clock. Okay, and digital delays tend to be a little on the dry side, and they just do the one thing. They make an echo, or however many echoes you want, and then they stop. The sound just stops, right? So you can hear at the end of each repeat, the sound just cuts off because it's finished repeating. But in a mix with other effects, especially a reverb effect, you can get a lot of density to that sound and make a lot of really cool things happen. If we go over here, I'm actually going to go to the fourth position, so I'm between the bridge or the neck and middle pickup, just for the sake of tone. And let's see. Nice. So it creates a lot of ambience, right? The analog delay is similar to circuits you would get in the 70s and early 80s. A little bit more tonal sounding and slightly different pulse. So there's a little bit more tail to each repetition. Okay, and of course it speeds up. So if you go super fast, it doesn't sound like echo anymore. It sounds like a weird room ambience, like a plate. Okay, when we go to a tape echo, there's a little bit of modulation, a little bit of warble like you would get. So if you don't know, tape echo used to be like an infinite loop of tape, right? You would take the actual audio that you recorded, physically cut the tape, and then loop it back around and play it, so it would be on a constant repeat at whatever the length of tape and repetition was you set up. So because of that, there's a little bit of variance with the tape heads and the reels, and so I think we're going to get some of that. Yeah, so you can hear a little bit of warble in the background. Go back up to position 4 and you can hear. Right? So you hear how it's got a little bit of added ambience in behind it, and that's because of that tape effect that they're trying to imitate. And it actually sounds really very much like a classic tape reverb, or sorry, tape delay. Now, what happens is, I don't know if you noticed, but the difference between the analog and digital ones and the tape echo is the echoes don't really taper off. With the tape echo, they do. Right? When we go to a tube echo, this is more of like what you would get in a classic kind of a tube amp situation, or a tube generated delay tone. So each echo itself lasts longer than the note, right? And that's what happens. Like with the digital, you have the repeated note and it shuts off. And with the analog, it happens a little bit more. The tape echo sort of streams it along, and the tube echo has a little bit of a taper to each note, right? So we get the same, pretty much the same riff. And as a result, we get almost like a dotted effect. I love it. It sounds amazing, right? Now we're up here and the 9 o'clock position for the reverse delay. And this is super cool because if you're playing a lot of notes, it has a really cool kind of bounce back effect, but it is literally backwards. Listen. Okay, I'm going to slow it down so you can hear a little bit more. So you hear how it swells back, but it isn't just that it swells back, it's actually going to reverse the passage. See? So if you go at a certain speed, it will actually reverse it. So if I do a bend up, you're going to hear it reverse the tone down. Which is just really cool. Gonna skip over to the low bit, which is where I think things get really funky. So here you're gonna hear a little bit of a tail that's almost like an artifact, like a sonic artifact that you get in a low res recording. Can you hear that little kind of shimmery thing right after the note? So low bit is like lo-fi, right? That's what we're looking at. So that sounds awful. I don't like that one. Right. It's a little bit of sparkle there. Not really a shimmer, but a little bit of sparkle to it. And if we turn the mix down on it a little bit, it's a little bit lower frequency. Really nice. Next up is the Galaxy. This is a very, very cool mod. Really cool circuit. I think this is going to be one of my favorites going forward, especially for clean tones. So it almost has like a pulse to it. It's got a tiny bit of reverse, a tiny bit of modulation, and just a whole lot of super cool sound. So nice. So it does, like the comet on the atmosphere has a little bit of a flanger to it. And then finally the mod delay up here at noon on this dial. This one has a little bit more of a chorus, I think. Yeah, definitely a chorus effect, right? Gives you that little touch of kind of a Brian May vibe, except doing it with one pedal instead of a chorus in front of a delay. Very, very cool stuff. Again, I'm not going to go all the way to the looper because I'm not a good looper. Okay, but I'm going to switch this off, and I'm going to come all the way back to digital and hop over to the drive channel on my preamp house. And this is my dry tone. So what you want to watch out for with delays on leads. Okay, delays don't work great for rhythm guitars. I'll show you why. Things get mushy very, very quickly. They're really more of a lead thing to give it a little bit more ambience and body to the tone. They work really well in tandem with a reverb to give some body, that kind of arena effect that we want when we're playing leads. So let's take a look and see. This is the digital. I'm not going to use all of them, just a couple. The digital works really well. Okay, so it carries that tone. And remember, I'm going from the preamp through the delay. So the delay is not going in front of the distortion, right? The delay goes after the preamp, before the power section. That's why we put it in a loop, so that we don't have a ton of really garbled, echoey distortion, if that makes sense, or distorted echoes. We don't want to distort the echoes. We want to echo the distortion. I mentioned that before, right? So with that in mind, also, this is really, really thick. I have the mix turned quite high. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and you'll see what I'm talking about. A little bit more clarity to the tone. That's not cool. But if you got a little bit clearer, the same kind of thing. Just gives you that little bit of echo. You can take the tails down a little bit as well. My preference, I like the tube echo for this. So there's digital, analog, tape, tube. There's a tube echo. It gives you that I'm a big rock hero kind of sound, which is super cool, especially with these really high overdrives. I'm going to take another look at this. I think I was wrong. Number 6. This is the EVH. I am on the EVH 5153 Mark III. That is not 5153. So that's probably why it sounds like that kind of EVH tone, right? So a little bit higher. Let's go to one of these personality tones here. I don't like reverse for lead parts. It's just weird. To me, that doesn't add anything. That would be a special effect if you wanted that kind of like weird, mysterious tone. What you would do is you'd actually stack the atmosphere after it and kind of use this to liquefy that tone, so it's not even in the same state. Never mind the same. You're not even in the same state. It's just something way off in the distance. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to go to the mod, which to me has probably the most classic lead sound you can get, especially coming off a Strat through an EVH. It's distortion plus delay plus chorus, although not necessarily in that order. Right, so. That's very cool. Speed it up just a bit. A bit more mix. A bit more speed. Cool. So there you have the Joyo Revolution Series R-07 Aquarius Delay. Honestly, a damn near perfect delay pedal. I can't say enough good things about this. It does everything you need it to do and a little bit more than you probably thought you needed. I will get into using the looper on this when I figure out how to properly use loopers. I'm not that great with them. I'm happy to admit that I'm not that great with them. I have several, and this is the newest one, and this is, I think, so far the coolest one, just because it has the built-in delay effect, so you can do some really cool layers. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you are feeling generous, by all means, become a member of the channel. The join button is right below. And there are some pretty cool perks that come along with it. And it's just the kind of thing that keeps this content and all of my reviews and other videos flowing. So until next time, I'm going to say have yourselves a great day, and I will see you around.